For more on the latest developments in the government's case against AIG, we just want to clear up the details here. We learned this weekend federal prosecutors will not bring criminal charges against former AIG exec Joseph Cassano, but this is after a 2-year investigation. We have brought in our next guest, Ernie Patrikis. He's with us to weigh in with his experience in both banking and insurance. He was general counsel at AIG, also worked at the Federal Reserve Bank of New York for 30 years. Ernie is now a partner at White Case. Ernie, thanks so much for coming in this morning. Glad to have you with us. Did the criminal charges fall apart just because the burden of proof is so heavy? I mean, to prove something criminally, you have to really focus on this intent to do harm. And while Cassano obviously made a lot of mistakes, was it hard to prove that intent to do harm?
Right. It's not a crime to be stupid. It's not a crime to make major errors. I, think they didn't find the intent. Was it 10b-5? I'm not sure what they were looking for. Failure to disclose, false information. I mean, Joe is not a likable person, but
that doesn't make him a criminal.
Absolutely.
Now, you were at AIG from 1998 to 2006. You were special advisor to the chairman. You then became general counsel. In that role, you had to deal with 3 settlements in cases, dealing with the SEC, the New York Attorney General. What can you tell us about what it's like to be in that role? And I should add as well, the New York Insurance Department as well.
When at the Fed, when we did enforcement, the theory was to try to make things better. Punishment was secondary. It was sending a message to the world, here's the right way to do it. In dealing with these others, that's not the way they do it. They earn their spurs by punishing.
Well, how dirty is it? I mean, is it just leak by leak? Or?
Well, for us, between Spitzer and the SEC, who gets the information first, get mad at you, totally distracting from a business standpoint. There were many, many things that were wrong at AIG that we found out about. I regard many of them as micro. In terms of the experience.
But the bottom line seems to be, Ernie, that the government wants companies to settle.
Government wants companies to settle. In my experience on my second SEC adventure, and the Justice Department was there, they killed us with leaks. And when the settlement was over, I had our outside counsel write to the SEC and Office of Professional Responsibility at Justice requesting investigation of leaks, which are against the rules of both agencies. They declined to do so. We lost $1 billion every time in shareholder value, every time there was a leak.